Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. And I am here with Lindsay Meserve. I said that right, didn't I,
You got
Lindsay?
it. Yep, you got it.
Okay, awesome. And so Lindsay's with me today. I'm excited to have her on the show, and she can tell us her story about how she became a woman in motorsports. But first, Lindsay, please share a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, like Melinda said, I'm Lindsay. I live in St. George, Utah, born and raised here. I grew up in a family that drag raced, so I've got four brothers. I'm the middle child. I'm I've now gotten married, and I've got three kids. I've got a 9-year-old son, a 5-year-old daughter, and a almost 2-year-old daughter. So, and then a dog that's almost two. So yeah, all of that. They all keep me busy, and I don't know. We're just a circus.
Yeah, it's when you've got kids that age, and you'll find that as they get a little bit older and they're all in some kind of sport or dance or whatever.
Yes, we're
My
we're
daughter,
starting to learn that.
yeah. So my daughter, one of my daughters has his, hers, and theirs. So he had a son who's I believe a freshman in high school. She had two kids that are seventh grade and fifth grade, and then they have a little boy together that's kindergarten and has autism, but he's very high functioning, very, very smart kid. And so they're running every which
Oh,
direction on the
yeah.
weekends.
I can't
Yeah.
even imagine. My son's pretty involved with sports and stuff. My daughter's starting to get there, but my son's been junior drag racing, and so on top of my schedule and his schedule, we've been going for weeks now, and we're
Yeah.
ready for a break.
Yeah. I mean, you love it.
Oh
And
yes,
I think when racing takes their break, it seems like forever until we get
yeah,
started back. But
yeah.
as you're in the thick of it, sometimes it's like, oh, I just need a weekend off.
It is. It's true. We come home, we unload, we reload, and we hit the road.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, but we're enjoying it right now, and I know we'll catch a break here in a couple weeks. So
Yeah. Yeah. And you look at the schedule and it's like, okay, we can manage till then, right?
yeah,
For
I hope
sure.
so.
Yeah. So, Lindsay, you grew up around drag racing, but do you remember when you actually really became interested yourself? Like, I really want to try this myself. Were you a little girl? Not till later?
Yeah, so I don't remember like an exact moment or anything. It's like with my family, my dad grew up in Southern California. He grew up around like Pomona drag strip, and he would go out there and watch the races and stuff for like scouts, and so he was familiar with it. So when my older brothers were, I think they were 8 and 9, I don't know, they were around the age to start junior drag racing. My dad wanted a hobby for the family. So he bought horses. That didn't really work out. So he bought him a junior dragster, thinking this is going to be just a short lived thing. Well, it ended up expanding way more to that, and we're to where we are now. But for me, it was kind of like, you're in this family, we drag race, and it's what you're going to do. Like, I was never forced to, but it's like, it's all I knew. And so
Yeah.
when I was 7 years old, that was my first time going down the drag strip in my little junior dragster, and I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah. And how old were you then? Do you remember?
7.
7.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. And at 7 years old. And isn't that kind of a common theme is that, the dad raced or loved racing or somehow got the family involved and it
Yeah.
just becomes a lifestyle.
It is. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I don't think my dad ever imagined that it would turn into what it has now. It started with one car. My brothers actually shared it, and then it got to the point where they couldn't really share anymore, so he had to buy another car, or he actually built another car for them, and now it's just wild. Like I said, I've got three brothers that do it. My son has a junior dragster. My daughter, she's old enough to have one. We're just not quite ready to put her in one yet.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's just, I've got a niece. I've got two nieces that do it. It's just crazy. It's awesome though. We love every minute of it. So
Well, and the thing that I love about your story is you've got brothers and nieces and probably girlfriends and wives and whatever. And that's what your family does. And a lot of families, I interview a lot of girls and a lot of racing people. This is their story. It's a family affair, right?
Yeah.
But I also know there's a lot of families out there that really have nothing in common. I mean, it's kind of sad, but
Yes.
racing brings families together,
Oh,
you
for sure.
know?
That's what we've always said. Like racing is like I hang out with my family at the racetrack. I hang out with them on off weekends because we're working on race cars, but
Mhm.
we're always together. People ask my husband all the time, like, "Do you ever get sick of your in-law, if your wife's family?" I guess, and he just knows it's part of it. So,
Yeah.
but we
And
love it. We do. We just love being with each other and everything. So
was he into racing before he married you?
he was not. Nope, he got sucked into it.
Okay. All
So
right. And has he adapted pretty well to that?
yeah, he has. Yep, he's got himself a car now and he's just one of us. So
Okay. All right. That's awesome. So, you started pretty young. There had to be days that you were discouraged, things didn't go right, whatever. Um, a couple questions here. One, how do you handle that even today when things don't go right? And did you ever think about, I can't do this anymore, I'm done?
yes, actually quite often after having kids. It's always a question, it's always been a question in my mind after having kids. Like it's just hard. It's hard to go to the racetrack. It's hard to be a mom. It's hard to race, like mentally I feel like I don't want to say I have a disadvantage, but I've got a lot on my mind, and so it's like you try to go to the lanes and leave your kids and your worries behind. And my mom comes to the racetrack and she's a huge help with my kids. But you still have to be a mom, So
Yeah.
there's been a lot of days where it's like you have hard days and you're like, is this even worth my time? But like my heart's still there, Like I think about quitting, giving it up, and I'm just like it just breaks my heart. So yeah, it's something, and like you see accidents and you see stuff like that and it really makes you question, like I have kids at home, like
Yeah.
am I putting myself in danger? But all the years we've been doing it, like in the car, I feel safe, and I know if something were to happen that I'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
So but yeah, to answer your question, there are a lot of days I question it, but I'm not ready to be done just yet.
Yeah. So one of the questions, and you were kind of takes us right into that. Um, the current role you have, mom, race car driver, do you work a job too? Or I mean, not that being a mom isn't a job, believe
Right.
me, but you know, all the things that you do, groceries, laundry,
Yeah.
picking up after your kids when they go to bed, all the stuff, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's demanding on you both emotionally, physically, mentally.
Yeah.
How do you balance all of that?
I I don't know. I just do. I've got a great support system at home. My mom's always willing to help with the kids, and my older two go to school, so I've just got my baby at home. I just try and plan around her. She's a little trooper, and we just hammer down, we power through, and we get it done. Whatever needs to be done, we just get it done. And
Yeah.
I am very blessed. I stay home with my kids. I don't have a job, so
Yeah.
um, I've typically got the week to prepare for everything, but it's a lot of work, but I'm grateful that I can stay home and do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a blessing for sure, especially in the economy and things we have nowadays, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, what about let's talk about your car for a minute. Tell me about your car, the number, the colors. Does it have did they pick the number? Did you tell me about your
Yeah.
car?
So, I drive a 68 Barracuda in the class super gas. Cool story behind this car is it's funny. My husband tells me I love it more than I love him. It's like my firstborn, but it's kind of got a history with it. My grandpa bought it off the showroom floor in 68. My dad ended up buying it off of him and started saving parts to make it into a Hemi car. And my grandpa found out, kind of got mad at him. So my dad lost interest in the car. He let his little sister borrow it, and she ended up crashing it into like a telephone pole or a pole of some sort. So it went to the junkyard. And my dad was always like, "Oh man, I wish I had my Barracuda. I turned it into a race car." And and the junkyard owner was real. He was just not nice, and he would like if he knew you wanted something, he'd just intentionally crush it. And somehow my mom sweet talked him into getting the car out. So she got it out for my dad for Christmas one year, and he started working on it just in his free time. And um, I was coming up on turning 16. I'm like, Dad, what am I gonna drive? All my brothers have cars. Like, I need something. And so me turning 16 kind of forced him to finish the car. So 9 years, took him 9 years to build it. And then I was the lucky one that got to drive it, and I still get to drive it. And so it's I don't know. It's just got a good history, family history, and it's something that I just love it. It's my baby.
And how does your grandpa feel about that?
My grandpa's since passed away. I don't know that I don't know. Actually, honestly, I never really talked to him about it.
Okay.
Never. I don't
But did
know.
he know before he passed, did he know your mom got it?
Yeah, no, it was I was racing it by the time he had passed.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I've also got a dragsters. I don't know if you're familiar, a long skinny car.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
I don't run it all the time. My Barracuda is my main car. I bracket race my dragster and stuff. It's pink. It's cute. It's fun. But yeah, I've raced top dragster with that. I've won 2 Wallies in that. I'm still working on a Wally in my Barracuda. That's
Okay.
my biggest dream, is to get a Wally in my Barracuda. So I
Okay.
say when I do that, I can retire.
So have you gotten close?
Yeah, I've been to a few final rounds. Just last year I was in the semis in Texas. I just get so close, and then I just can't finish it off. So
Okay, well, this year is the year. This is
I'm
the year.
hoping and praying.
Yeah, for sure. So who helps you or is totally essential to what you do with racing that you couldn't do without?
My whole family. Like, my dad got us here. My dad gets us there, with the motorhome, fuel, and all of that stuff. My mom comes. My mom cooks for us. She takes care of the kids. Um, my husband, obviously, he helps fund all of it. My brothers, I've got the 3 that race too, and my youngest brother Parker's really taken me under his wing and gotten my car straightened out for me. And he's all of my brothers have really tried to help me just become a better driver and everything, and I really couldn't do it without them. They're just always there and always willing to work on my problems.
Yeah, that's nice. And you're the only girl, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, of course. They got to take care of their sister, right? Come on. Come
Yep.
on, guys. You got to take care of your sister.
Yeah, they're pretty good at it, so I'm really lucky.
Yeah, it sounds like you are very lucky. So, if I ask you what's a good night at the racetrack, what's the answer to that question?
Ooh, good night at the racetrack. Finishing a little bit early and just being able to hang out, tilling the lawn chair for a bit and just hang out with your friends and family and just take it easy. Or celebrating a win. But usually once the races are over, if there's a win, we're packing up and on the road. Don't have a lot of
Yeah.
time to celebrate. But
And how far do you normally travel to race?
it just depends on the year. We typically stay like Western United States. The last let's see, last year we went out to Texas. There's uh the All-Star race that my
Mhm.
brothers have qualified for, so we've gone out to Texas a little bit, which has been really fun. But other than that, we're mostly West Coast.
Okay. Have you I have a friend that owns a racetrack in Alaska.
Oh my gosh.
That is my bucket list track.
Yes. So, funny story. My little brother does a podcast, and is it a woman?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember her name, but
Michelle.
she was just on my brother's show. And we're trying to plan a family trip out there to race rental cars.
I'm telling you what, I love her. I met her through, racing.
Yeah.
She's been on my podcast a couple of times. You know how you meet somebody and you just click
Yeah.
together, and that was her and I. And so Yeah, and living in Michigan would be a little bit of a trip, but honestly,
Right.
I have a handful of tracks on my bucket list other than the NASCAR tracks. I'd love to go to every NASCAR track, and I've been to quite a few,
Quite a
but
few.
there's a handful of other tracks that I want to get to. And hers is more not just for the track, but because she runs it and owns it. And the views of the mountains and
I
stuff,
know. I've
I
seen
have to go and
pictures.
see it.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe you can join us on our family trip.
There we go.
I'll
So
let you
you'll
know
have
when
to
we get it planned.
yeah, you let me know when you get that plan because that would be wonderful. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good
Sometimes you
time.
have to have a reason for a certain
Yeah.
date, and so
Right.
that would be a
it.
great reason.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. So, a lot of people think they know what racing's about, whether it be short track or drag racing or whatever it is. What do you think is the most common misconception about racing? Like general public thinks this, and it's
Yeah.
really not true.
So my biggest thing with drag racing is everybody thinks it's first to the finish line. It's go your fastest, get to the finish line. Where the racing we do, the sportsman stuff, it's more it's not that way.
Right.
We have an index or we pick a dial in and it's everything but first to the finish line. We just it's a lot more complicated and
Yeah,
way more like mathematical, I guess you could say.
it is.
So
Yeah. And the thing, especially for kids who maybe aren't as big of school, my kids all were great in school. I was so lucky, but every kid is not. But if you can show them how math and geometry and all the different things tie into something that they love, which might be racing,
yeah, it'd be
that's
huge.
it'd be huge.
Yeah, my
My
son is.
friend, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say my son's fairly smart with math, and he's starting to figure that out too. Like math was not my strong subject at all. So when it comes to the math part, I'm always looking for help. But yeah, I'm hoping that my son one day it'll pay off and it'll click with him.
Oh, it will. I was going to share with you. So I have a friend, Steffi Boss. She owns Init Esports. It's it's like iRacing,
Oh
whatever. But
yeah.
anyway, she's got a great story. Her podcast is going to drop, I think, the second week of May. So you should listen to it because
Yeah.
she has a program that she and the people she has on her team developed for high schools. And it's revolves around racing, but it also revolves around math, science, and all that.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing program. I think every high school should adopt it, honestly, because kids don't understand when they're in school how important school is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Especially when it comes like, yeah, I understand there's probably stuff you're taking that doesn't really pertain to life, but yeah, like the math and stuff of it for sure. I kind of wish that I would have paid a little bit more attention, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That just wasn't my thing.
Yeah. See, I loved math. And so, but I hated history and science. So
Yeah,
everybody has their thing,
for sure.
Lindsay,
Yeah.
everybody has their thing. So, so when you go down the track and your car's not running like it should or whatever, do you feel pressure, especially as a woman, that you need to really perform better? I mean, you've got so many brothers, you probably don't have as much, as many people that kind of say, well, girls don't belong in racing. And we still hear it, even though
Yeah,
there's so many women in drag racing.
right.
So many.
Honestly, I have never felt I don't know, I feel no different being a woman in drag racing. Like I don't know, a lot of people think it's a big deal, especially people that don't know drag racing, but those people don't realize how many women there are in drag racing.
Right.
My dad's always called me his fifth son. So I don't know. I just say like I don't as being a woman in drag racing feels no different than probably being a man. I mean, I want to do well because I love to see women do well and I want to be one of them. but I don't feel any pressure to go out
Okay.
there and be good.
That's
I guess.
good. So, do you consider, so is you and your brothers, you have a race team? Do you have a name for the race team, or are you kind of each do your own thing?
Yeah, so we just go Theobald Motorsports. Theobald is my maiden name, so Theobald Motorsports. That's what my dad named us back when we first got started, and it's just stuck with us. So
Yeah, good name. So if we looked on social media and looked up Theobald Racing, we'd find where you're
yeah,
racing, what you're doing, and how you did, and all that stuff, right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah. And are you mostly Facebook, Instagram? Where would we find you?
I don't do much social media. I'm not big on that. My little brother does a really good job representing us, and Parker Theobald, he posts a lot of reels and pictures, and he's really
Okay.
good at all of that. So, but he usually tags all of us. So if you look on Instagram or Facebook, you'll
Okay.
probably find something.
And he's the one that does the podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
And what is his podcast about?
Um, West Coast racing. There wasn't
Okay.
really much coverage on all that, so him and his buddy Troy from Oregon kind of started this podcast to cover all the racing on the West Coast.
That's cool. I love
Yeah.
that. I'm going to have to find it and find him and follow him, because I'm always listening to podcasts all the time.
It's good. They're a hoot.
I bet they
They're
are.
a good time.
And those are the best ones,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
So when you get to the line and you're ready to race, do you ever have any thoughts creep in that are negative? And if so, how do you quiet them? Or are you a pretty confident person?
I try to be confident.
Okay.
I'm not very good at it, but I try. My brothers are really good at pushing to be confident. I don't know. Sometimes you do go up to the line and you have things going through your head that, like, now's not the time for that, and you just kind of have to be like, all right, like, we're here to race, like, focus up and do your thing.
Yeah.
So just kind of push them to the side.
Right. And you have to, it's easy to get down on yourself. And
Yes.
so that's the thing that we have to make sure that we don't do that
Yeah.
we stay focused and just do our best. And when it stops being fun, then it's time to stop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I
Yeah.
kind of had a little pity party for myself. We were racing in Vegas this last weekend, and it was a double. So there's two races. In the first race, I lost first round, and I was mad and ornery, and I ended up bringing my daughter home for a soccer game, and it was the best thing for me. Just kind of cleared my head, and came back and had a fresh start for the second race, and we won a few rounds. And so I think that's what you need sometimes. You just need the mental break from it.
Right. And that's true. That's a life thing, right? There's days that you're just like, somebody needs to come and get these kids. I just need a break. Or,
Yes.
or, I've had way too many soccer games this week. You take her to the soccer game, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mental
You
breaks.
just
They're
can't.
good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's for sure. So drag racing is one thing that I was surprised when I started the Women's Motorsports Network in 2017. I knew a lot about asphalt short track racing, but I didn't know a lot about drag racing or dirt racing. I mean, I knew some, but not a lot. Drag racing, especially not, because where I grew up, there wasn't a place to do that. Well, when I moved to Michigan in 1999, I wasn't into racing right away, but obviously I am now. We have a wonderful track in Martin, Michigan called US 131 Motorsports Park.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a great track, and they hold amazing races. And so when I first started this, I went up there on a Saturday, and they, said, oh, here's your media. This is where you can go and whatever. And you can pretty much go anywhere at a drag race.
Yeah.
You can almost, sit inside the motorhome of the people. I mean, there's just not a lot to stop you. But anyway, so I went up there, and there was campers as far as you could see. And I have never seen so many little girls in junior dragsters. It was, I was just like blown away. I was shocked. I went there to see a gal who used to race motorcycles, and she's like, "Oh, Melinda, there are so many little girls in
Yeah.
drag racing." And now you're seeing, as they get a little older, we're
Yep.
starting to see them a little bit more. But
Yeah.
you go to a drag race, there's a lot of girls and women, aren't
Oh
there?
yeah. It's not uncommon at all to see women in every class, you know.
Right.
They participate in everything.
Yeah. And so it makes me wonder, then you go to a sprint car race, there's no women.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
really
not
no women.
I'm not
Why?
super familiar with that stuff,
Okay,
but
so sprint cars, they, of course, I live in the Midwest, so they're popular, especially in Iowa and whatever. But you don't see any. So I went to oh shoot. Anyway, I can't think of the track. It's a very well-known track. Tony Stewart owns it. I went there for a race one weekend, and I thought, oh, I'm going to meet women that are involved in sprint car racing, and it was just the opposite. There was
oh man.
no women. So I've never figured out really why
Why? Yeah.
there's so many in junior dragsters and moving up, and no one in the bigger things of sprint car. Now they're starting to come around some, but I guess I just what do you think is the draw for drag racing? Is it because their parents did it? I mean, what would be the draw for
I
people who
don't
maybe don't know about racing to be a drag racer?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I mean, I don't understand how people we've always wondered how do people get involved that like weren't raised in or, you know. We raced with some friends in Las Vegas and um we laughed because they have some neighbors that they sucked into it. And so like I guess it's just knowing somebody that, you know,
Mhm.
kind of brings you in, but I don't know, the same could be with sprint cars like it just takes knowing somebody. I don't know if like
Yeah.
the cost, I don't know. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't either.
I don't know.
I've asked a few people that question and none of us can figure it out. So that's like the
It's
racing
just cuz
mystery.
drag racing's just where it's at, I guess.
Oh, I guess it is. That's just it. Lindsay, you nailed it. That's exactly for sure what it is.
At least I like to think so.
Yeah, for sure. So you're a mom, you got a lot going on, but do you see yourself racing for a while?
Yeah, I hope I'm an old lady still having the time of my life, you know.
Yeah.
That's my dream. I know like I don't know when my kids are involved in it now, but as they get more and more involved, I may have to step back, but I just hope that I don't know, we can just make it work out that I can keep racing or take a break and come back or, you know,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
plan to do it for a long time.
That's good. That's good. I like hearing that. So, do you have a favorite track?
I really really like racing in Sonoma, California.
Mhm.
I don't know, it's just different. It's really cool. I like Pomona. I like to race in Pomona. It's a different feel there for sure. Just like with the history and everything of it. You pull around, pull into the burnout box. You know, there's planes flying over, and I don't know. I just really like the feeling of Pomona.
Okay.
So those two
All
are
right.
probably my top two.
And what track do you race at most often?
So Vegas is our local track, but we don't do a lot of their local series. Every now and then I'll take my dragster down, but um, we don't. I don't know. We just race like the NHRA event, so it's kind of all
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. So you travel.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
traveling.
So, what's been your proudest moment?
Ooh, um, I don't know. As for me would be probably winning my first divisional event in my dragster. I won top dragster. That was pretty big because like the Wally is our goal, you know, like that's what we want.
Yeah.
And so for me that was big. But like being a mom, my son picked up a Wally. Let's see, was it last year, the year before? And it's I don't know. It's just something about seeing your kids do it too, and you know the desire for them to win. Like
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I want him to win more than I want myself to win. But I don't know.
That's
I'd really like
normal.
Yeah.
That's
Is that
normal
how
for
it
a
works?
parent.
Yeah.
You know, I just heard somebody say that they were happier for their driver. It was a team owner. He was happier to see his driver win than he ever was when he won himself.
Yeah. And I can say that too. My husband, just this last weekend, he's still pretty, I'd say he's pretty fresh in the drag racing. He's raced before, but never consistent. And we're getting more consistent now. And he went 4 rounds last week. And I don't think I was stoked, you know, I just loved seeing those win lights turn on. And like you say, I probably enjoyed that more than seeing my own win lights.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and we shouldn't think that men are one way and women are another, but they are. And I think women have a tendency, because of the mothering instinct,
Yeah.
to feel that way
Right.
more so maybe than a man.
Than a man. Yeah.
That's probably not a fair statement, but I'm going to make it anyway.
We'll make it fair.
That's what I think.
I'll agree with you.
Yeah, that's what I think. So have you ever been given some advice that has really stuck with you?
Yeah. I've been given lots of advice. Um, Gosh, nothing off the top of my head. Just be yourself and do your best, you know? Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, man, woman, anything. Just go out there and give it your all. And like you say, if you're not having fun, then something's wrong. Something needs to change. So just make sure you're having fun. That's the biggest thing. And just go out there and enjoy it.
Yeah. So, Lindsay, do you have like marketing partners on your car that you want to mention, or it's your family that takes care of things?
Just my family. My husband's a huge, huge supporter. So yeah,
Okay.
just him and then my dad.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is for sure. So is there anything that we haven't talked about that I just was an obvious miss about your story? Anything that you would like to share that I did not ask you about?
No, I think you did a really good job. Yeah,
I've done a few of these.
We covered most of it.
I think you're number 400 and maybe 443 or something like that.
Oh my gosh. So
I've done.
You've got it down packed now.
Well, I used to, when I first started, I had a cheat sheets of questions, and I tweaked them over the years.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I mean, I have them where I could grab them. If like once in a while you'll get somebody that's not very talkative. So you have to ask a lot more questions.
Right. Yeah.
So I keep them handy just in case that happens. But I really rarely ever use my questions sheet.
Well, it's nice. It's just like a casual conversation.
It is. You know? It is, and that's how I want people to feel. I want them to feel like we just had a great conversation. You were able to share your story and why you love racing, and that's my goal, is for you to be able to tell your story. And so if we accomplish that today, then I did my job.
Yeah, you did. I think we did all right. What do you think?
I think so too, Lindsay.
Did I pass?
You passed with flying colors for sure.
Nice.
So let me know when you're going to go to Alaska.
Okay. Yes, I will. We got to get that planned.
Have to get it on the calendar if it's ever going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I will find your brother's podcast.
Yes.
And yeah. And I just hope you have a fun summer. Yes, it's about winning. That's why we race. We don't race to come in last, but
right.
When we also race because it's fun and it's what your family does. And so I hope you have a great race season this year.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thanks for having me on. It's been fun.
You're welcome. All right. Well, you hang on here just for a second.
Okay.